Let's start the recording. So it is 10/11/18. We are officially starting today's group chat. What we're going to talk about today is, I got to look on my notes, guys. I just got home. I was at the car dealership, which I should not have been. It was not a good idea, but it's okay. Let me pull up this thing. Where's this at? Goldstein. All right, so the first thing I want to cover with you guys, we're just going to go over a little theory, just because it's important to understand when we're negotiating. And this is something that will improve all your sales and negotiating skills moving forward, and it will allow you to adjust certain things you say when you're negotiating with someone, because you'll be able to see kind of where they are in the conversation. So let me ask you guys a question. Has anyone here ever been talking to someone, and maybe you're messaging them, and then all of a sudden they disappear? They stop messaging you back. You're like talking to them, everything's going good, and all of a sudden they just stop messaging you back. And you're kind of confused. You're like, what the hell? Everything was good for a second, and now then they stop messaging me back. Give me a 1 in the chat if that's ever happened. So you're talking to someone about phones, you think everything's going good. You're like, oh, this is good. They might be messaging you back fairly consistently. They might be saying complete sentences. They might be messaging you back in a timely manner, and then they become a ghost and they disappear. So this theory will kind of help you understand why that is, and it will allow you to slightly make little tweaks in what you're doing so it doesn't happen anymore. Sometimes it's very subtle, very small differences that make a difference. Sometimes it's doing little tweaks, like the difference between one word and another word, swapping words out or wording things differently. I mean, just the difference in saying, all right, I could meet you when I get off work, or I get off work at 11. Can we meet at 11:30? Just wording it like that, the words we say matter. They cause a different thoughts. The words we say matter, so it creates different thoughts and emotions in prospects and customers, which gets a different result. And this thing, you might not be good at it instantly right away, but as long as you have the awareness, you'll be better, and then you can start to test different things out. So with that said, this is how it works. So what we want to do is we always want to be putting ourselves in the prospect's head. We want to be thinking, what is this prospect thinking? What are they thinking? How are the words I'm saying going to make them feel? And where are they in the conversation? Are they invested in the conversation? Or are they pulling out of the conversation? It's very important to have this awareness, because it doesn't matter how good we are negotiating, or how many times we can handle no. If the customer just stops talking to us, if the prospect doesn't even tell us no and they just disappear, we can't move forward. So there's a thing called giving value and taking away value. And when we provide value to the prospect, we're saying benefits, things that are going to directly benefit them. So what are some things, let me know in the chat, what are some things we can say that can directly benefit a prospect? Someone tell me what those are. What are some things we say that benefit a prospect, that a prospect gets value from, that would get a prospect's attention, that would make a prospect excited? That maybe if the prospect's pulling away, all of a sudden there's hold up now, what did Brenda tell me? So let's see, we got cash, drive to you today, can meet today with cash. Absolutely. Benefits, you can meet someone today. You can meet them right now. You can meet them today. We'll bring you cash, we'll drive to you. These are just things prospects want to hear. Ulysses said, how can you tell the difference between an XX and an X? If you go to settings and you look for the serial number, or the IMEI, you can type in the IMEI in SICW.com, and that will tell you which one it is. And you'll probably have a it'll have in the settings like an A1782. If you just type whatever that A1627, whatever it is into Google, it'll tell you what that was. Take the SIM card tray and make sure it has the rubber ring around the outside. If it has a rubber black ring on the SIM card tray, it's pretty much not a clone. And you should be able to, if you've been dealing with iPhones, it feels similar to a regular iPhone X, right? It's the same weight. It's got that. I mean, it should be fine. Hey, what's up, Taylor? How are you doing, Taylor? Yosef, good to see you here. Taylor, Ulysses, good to see you. Remy, Matt, Yosef. So what we want to do is we want to be thinking, all right, if we say too many, let me ask you guys another question. What are some things we could say that the prospect wouldn't like to hear? So some of the things we can say that can get the prospect's attention, get them interested, keep them invested in the conversation. Hey, I can meet today. I can bring cash. Another thing we can say, oh, it's a great phone. Another thing we could say is, and I've been starting to do this more in the last month or so, well, it's a great phone, and to be honest, I'm short. I actually need to buy some iPhone 7, so I'd love to buy it from you. How much were you looking to get? Anything like that, because they're thinking, okay, this person, he wants to work with me. She wants to work with me. They're serious. What are some things that we could say that don't provide value, that might lose the prospect's interest, that the prospect probably doesn't want to hear? What are some things you say? Ulysses says, call me later. I can't do that. Oh, yeah, we hate that crap. I can't do that. Absolutely horrible. We're never going to say that. What are some other things? What are some other things the prospect that you guys want to know a secret? The prospect doesn't want cake. It is still that's right. Does the prospect want to think, or do they not want to think? I was on a call with I do everything I tell you guys to do. So I invest in myself. I spent about 10 grand on different self-improvement stuff this year, right? I'm trying to be a mini David, right? I see David out there investing money. I said, shit, David's doing it. David makes more money than me, right? Everything's all good. So I was in this program, $5,000 program, and the guy was saying he was reviewing these ads because ads are for everything. Ads. And he goes, the ad said, do it DIY. And the guy that runs this program, does about $100,000 a month, said, you don't ever want to say DIY. You don't want to say it because that causes people to think. And he said, people, they don't want to freaking think. They don't want to think. They just want to act. We just want to say as many benefits as we can. Oh, Taylor's, there it is. No thinking. Cookie cutter model. Absolutely. No one wants to think. When we ask people questions like, which company is it with? Which model is it? What condition it's in? Sometimes we want to ask stuff like, I like to kind of verify, all right, when we meet up, we can factory reset it, right? All those things, guys, cause people to think, and then they pull away from they'll start to pull away if we ask too many questions. So what we want to do is we want to kind of, now, in all fairness, we have to ask those questions. We need to figure out the phone, the condition, and the company before we can appraise it, right? And if they have other issues, like if they say it's cracked, we need to say, all right, can you still power it on and move throughout the screen even though it's cracked? Are there any ink spots on the screen? Right? We got to do that. If it's an 8 and they say it's cracked, we got to ask, no worries, is it cracked on the front or the back? So sometimes, in some situations, we have to dig and we might have to ask 4 or 5 or 6 questions in order for us to really understand the exact issue so we can appraise it. Fair enough? So when we're doing those things, we need to be thinking, all right, I'm not going to ask. If I start asking too many questions, they're probably going to pull away. So we probably want to ask, we want to ask a couple questions, company, carrier, condition. Then we want to make the offer. Then, once the offer is made, then what we can do is we can ask a couple other questions. And if I got to ask questions like, by the way, so if it's cracked, right, if they say it's cracked, this is what let me just kind of explain it so it makes sense. Now the phone's cracked. It's cracked on the screen. No worries, I can give you X amount for it. So they will tell me it's cracked on the screen. I need to make sure that it still powers on and there's no ink spots, right? Right or wrong? That's absolutely correct. I won't ask that question, though, till I make them an offer and go to that next step, because making an offer is providing value. It's moving the conversation forward. So I will sometimes, and not all the time, sometimes it's smooth and it's a smooth transaction. It's not at all. But sometimes it's not. Remy says, get them committed first. Right, I'll get them committed. I'm moving through the 5-part process. They reach out to us. We figure out what they have. They make an offer, close the deal, and then the 5th one is we go for the meetup. So I'll make the offer, and then once I've made the offer by me providing value, especially if they accept the offer, right? If I say, awesome, I can give you, all right, what company is it with? And Joe's like, it's AT&T. And I'm like, awesome, Joe, which iPhone is it? And Joe's like, it's an 8 Plus. And I'm like, okay, cool. And any problems with it? No, it's got a cracked screen. Joe? Well, I mean, Joe's pretty smart, but, you know, the average Joe, all right, the average person, they don't like all those questions. So we don't want to ask anything else. I'm going to make the offer. So Joe might be sitting there, and he might say, all right, you know, he's asking a couple questions. I don't know. But then I make an offer, and Joe's like, I pull him back in the conversation. He's like, oh, okay, you know, $80 sounds like a deal. And I'm like, all right, great. When can you meet? And I'll set up the meetup. All right, you know, we'll meet there in a half an hour. And then, and only then, I'm like, by the way, Joe, even though the screen's cracked, you can still move throughout the screen, right? And Joe would be like, yes. And there's no ink spots or like discolored lines on the screen, right? And Joe would be like, no. And I'd be like, okay, Joe, sounds good. I'm heading there now. I'll be there in 20 minutes. So I sometimes do that, and the reason I do that is if I ask too many of those questions up front, Joe will lose interest. He'll stop messaging me. So I'm always thinking, if I got to ask these questions, I got to provide some value first. Going for the meetup, just moving through the process is providing value. Also saying things like, meet you today, blah, blah, blah. Hey, I'd love to buy the phone, right? Maybe he says, oh, it's got a crack. Oh, no, it's got ink spots on it. So that might be $40 less. And I'll be like, I didn't know that. No, I wouldn't say that. If Joe's like, oh, no, there's like a big black ink spot on the bottom right of the screen. I'm like, okay, no worries. I'm like, is there any way, Joe, you would take, because it's got that ink spot, that costs more to fix than a cracked screen. So instead of $80, Joe, would you take $50? And Joe would be like, I don't really know if I want the $50. I was really hoping to get 80. Well, you know, because I buy and sell, the highest I can go is, you know, I really can only pay $50 because it's got the ink spot, but I can meet you today and bring cash. So you guys see what I'm doing there? There's a dynamic. After he said there was the issue, then notice what I did right there. And you guys see I post my conversations. If you guys scroll through Next Level or any of the replays, you guys can see them. What I did right there is I had to reappraise it and make him a lower offer. That's like not good. That's like it has to have him, but it's not a benefit to him. So then I'm trying to win him back in the conversation and keep moving forward by, well, you know, I make an excuse. It's got the ink, but I can meet, you know, I can be there in 20 minutes, Joe, and I got the cash on me now. The issue is just a little bit more than just a cracked screen, right? There's another issue with it. So what I want you guys to do is when you're talking to these prospects, always be aware of this. Be aware of how much value am I taking, and we have to take the value. I don't know if that's the right phrase. That's just what I'm saying. We got to ask the questions which they don't like, but we need to be combining it with moving the conversation forward. And if you've ever had a prospect that was very interested and they left the conversation, it was probably because you were asking too many questions without providing value. You made them think too much without giving them something to get them excited, moving forward in the conversation, cash today, blah, 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 all that good stuff. And they probably just, well, they didn't probably, there's a very good chance they just eventually got annoyed and just stopped messaging you back. So it's very important to kind of have a balancing act. Sometimes, guys, sometimes it's smooth. They message you, they say, hey, I got an iPhone 8 Plus, mint condition. You know, it's mint condition, 10 out of 10. It's Sprint, 64 gigabyte. How much? You make them an offer, and they're like, all right, great. When can you meet? I mean, sometimes we have it like that. Sometimes we do have it where it's tough, and I want you guys to have this awareness so you're more equipped to handle these tough conversations and sometimes do some of this creative stuff where you're almost you're finalizing the details of the phone or certain bits about the. I'll do this sometimes with sometimes people will say they don't have a car, and I might even move the conversation forward a little bit. And then I'm like, you know, they don't say they'll say I don't have a car, and I'm like, no worries, that's fine, blah, blah, blah. And I'll make them an offer and everything. And then if they agree to it, then I try to handle that. Well, no worries, is there a public place near you we could meet at, right, that you might be able to walk to? Any way you could get a ride. Some people, they can get a ride. They're just kind of lazy. We got to do the thinking for them. So it's not always the smoothest thing. Sometimes there's a couple things on top of it, each other. Does that kind of make sense, guys? Just give me a 1 in the chat if that kind of made sense and that was kind of helpful. I just want you guys to kind of be aware of this moving forward. And, of course, see why it's not a good idea to ask 6 or 7 questions back to back. We ask a few questions. We provide some value. We move forward. We get them excited and interested. Then we ask a couple other questions. Then we keep moving forward. All right, fantastic. So now the next thing on the list is I want to talk about, I mean, we're kind of doing a few different things on this chat just because there's important things to do. So let me ask you guys a question. Has anyone here ever gone to meet up with a prospect, and you go to meet up with a prospect, and the phone's not the condition the prospect said it was? It was a crack. It was locked. Instead of being an A+, it was a 6S+. Damn, Ulysses just says -100. Ulysses ready to go. Yes, hey, what's up, Timothy? LOL, all the time. So I want to share with you guys, if it's okay. If not, we'll just skip it and go to the next thing. But I bought a phone yesterday, guys, that I was going to make about $60, $70 on it. And it had a different issue. And I used the strategy I use every time. And what happened was, at the end of it, the strategy worked so well, I appraised it for a lower amount because it had an issue. But he accepted a significantly less amount. And instead of making about $70, I made like $185 on it. So would anyone be interested in me sharing with you the exact process on how I did that and how you can do it and you can use a strategy at the same time? Taylor says, guy told me he had a 6S, 16 gigabyte, but very nice. Yeah, now guys, if we get there and the phone is in better it's better than what they said, we're gonna cross our lips. We're gonna look at it, all right, I guess I'll take it, and then we move on from there, right? Taylor said, yeah, I do it all the time. I get all excited in my head whenever it's a better condition. I'm like, yeah, okay, it's okay. Right, it's an iPhone. They said it was Sprint, 64 gigabyte, but it actually turned out to be a 256 SIM unlocked. I'm like, oh, all right, well, we said 250, right? All right, here's your 250. All right, boom, and we just made a lot of money. So here's the process for this. And it's very important, again, too, just like we did it in the thing we just talked about a few minutes ago, we're going to put ourselves in, what are we going to do? We're going to put ourselves in the prospect's head. We're going to say, what are they thinking? What are they feeling? If we say this, if we do this, what's this going to do for them? How is it going to affect them? And we have to understand people have emotions, people have feelings, people have to think about stuff, and of course, you know, people are lazy. I'm lazy too. Everyone's lazy. That's just how it is. So this guy said, we're going back and forth on Marketplace for like half a week. And he said it was a 7+, and he said he bought it at AT&T, said it was 128 gigabyte, and said it was paid off. So I initially offered him 180, and I came up to 250. Because if it is AT&T, and it is paid off, that means that I can, you can unlock it, which means you can sell it for about 400. So I'm like, all right, I'll pay 250, sell for 400, and we'll probably make how much we're going to make on that, guys. We're going to make about 70, 80, 85 bucks. It's going to be worth it. So I did the exact same thing I tell you guys to do. I followed the script. I made like 3 or 4 offers. He didn't accept it. I said, no worries. I said, he wanted 300. I said, I can't do 300. And I already tried to make him the other offer. The highest I could do is the 250, but I can meet you today with cash. He said no. He was really dead set on the 300. I said, no worries. I said, I buy phones for a living, so if anything changes, just let me know. My offer is always on the table. Great line to say. I'm sure a lot of you guys say it and get paid with that as well. So what happened was, yesterday, guys, he hits me up, and he says, hey, I'll do it. And I said, because I always like to confirm everything, I said, all right, sounds good. You want to sell me the phone for $250, question mark? I asked, what's that? What kind of question is that, guys? I said, okay, sounds good, comma. You want to sell me the phone for $250? Question mark. That would be Miss Brenda. That's a tie-down question. I'm leading the conversation. I'm getting them to say yes. He goes, yep, absolutely. I said, okay, great. We figured out the meetup and the location and all that good stuff. And then I said, and you're 100% sure it's paid off, right? Because, you know, that's based on the appraisal of what I said. It's you know, if I'm appraising lowest gigabyte, bad IMEI, it doesn't matter how many gigabytes or the IMEI stat. It's lowest gigabyte. But because he said it was based on it being paid off. And the guy said, I paid $500 for the phone. I'm sure I would know if it was paid off. So he had a little attitude about it. I said, but I don't care. I like that. It's almost cocky confidence. I said, okay, great. Just making sure, LOL. I said, I'm heading there now. I was actually at the restaurant, so I got him to come to me. I said, I'm just hanging out here now. I said, he was going to come to the restaurant. I said, I'm just hanging out here now, so when you pull up, let me know. I'm inside right now. I'm wearing a red hoodie. He said, okay, cool. Comes to me. Now, there is the benefit of getting people to come to you. Someone tell me a benefit of getting people to come to you. What is a benefit of getting people to come to you? There is two benefits. There's two big benefits of getting people to come to you. You guys are absolutely both right. It saves you time, number one. The other thing is the customer, the prospect is automatically more committed. Instead of them driving 5 minutes, instead of them walking out the house, driving up the street, and meeting you at the Dunkin' Donuts up the street, they gotta, hey babe, hey babe, you know, whoever the babe is. Hey babe, I'm going to meet this guy. I'll be home in an hour. Oh babe, why do you have to leave? I thought we were gonna have dinner, but babe, I understand we're gonna have dinner, but I gotta go meet the guy I'm selling the phone. He's giving me $250. It's $250. We'll have dinner. We'll celebrate. It'll be great. All right, honey, just hurry home. You know, the dishes need to be done. The dog needs to be taken out. And the laundry needs to be folded. And the light bulb needs to be changed. And we got to figure out what we're going to do with the... No worries, honey. I'll be home. Okay? Gets in the car. Fighting through traffic. Lights turning red. The cop's in front of him. So he's got to go 5 miles under the speed limit. He gets to you guys. The prospect's invested all this time. He or she is a lot more committed to making the interaction work. Now, with that said, I drive to people all the time. I try to get them to come to me. Sometimes they can't. Sometimes they're lazy. And if I feel anything like that, I'll drive to them. But I'd say maybe 15 to 20%. I wouldn't even say 20% of the time. I'd say 15 to 20% of the time I get them to come to me. You know, if I feel any hesitation at all, I'll push a little bit. If it's like a small to medium amount of hesitation, if not more, I'll drive 20 minutes there or 20 minutes back to make $80 in profit, guys. I have no problem doing that. But if in a perfect world, I get them to come to me. I just want to put it out there because I don't want Aaron. I'm driving a lot myself, all right? That's just how the business is. So the guy comes to me. Now, in this situation, guys, I'm in a position of power. He came to me. He invested a lot of time. He had to do the whole process I just told you about. Or maybe he just opened up the door and drove. I don't know, but, you know, sometimes that's how it works. So he comes to me. So he sits down. We're at the table. It's lit up. Everything, you know, totally. We do it inside, right? I like to do the transaction. Sometimes I do it in the parking lot. A lot of times I like to do it inside. I just feel, you know, even now, even though I flip so many phones, I just feel better. I like there to be inside. I like it to be well lit. I like it to be people everywhere. Just makes me feel comfortable. So we're doing it inside. Guy pulls out his phone, and I'm making small talk with him. Hey, how's it going, you know? He said, oh, no problem. You know, I just got done eating food. I said, all right, you eat food anywhere? No, he came from St. Charles, so I know it was about a 20-minute drive. Now, if everything goes good, I would have just bought the phone, and that's that. You know, if the phone's what they say it is, I always pay the same price. And there's no need to ever haggle with them or anything. At least I don't. I just pay the price. But if there is an issue, then it needs to be reappraised. So we're going through it, and he said the phone is paid off. So I'm on AT&T's device unlock website. It's like att.com/device unlock/ to make sure that it can be unlocked. And I type in the IMEI, and boom, this phone has been reported lost or stolen. Then I go to IMEIPro.info and type in the IMEI, blacklisted. Now, he factory reset the phone. The phone was fully factory reset, no iCloud on it or anything. I said, So I'm going to give you two scenarios. I'm going to tell you the first scenario, and then I'm going to tell you another scenario. You tell me which one's better. I said, all right, now, buddy, you said the phone was paid off, right? He goes, yeah. I said, so let me show you what I did right here. If you look at the phone, it says, you see this thing? It says IMEI. Yeah. See all these numbers? I said, yeah. So the IMEI is kind of like the social security number of the phone. Every phone has its own IMEI. So I put the IMEI into AT&T's website right here. You see, AT&T.com is at the top. And it said it was reported lost or stolen. And then I shut up. Because silence is powerful. And I need to give him time to process what's going on. I need to give him time to process that there's a fucking problem now. I need to give him time to process that an issue has just come up and the entire deal might be off because it's not the condition he originally said it was in. And I said, so, what this means is, and I said it just so I shut up for like 5 or 10 seconds because he needs to process it and understand that there's an issue. And I said, now what this means is, I buy phones for a living. It says right here, it was reported lost or stolen. That means either someone did an insurance claim on it or whoever owned the account, I'm trying to give them a way out because people need a way out because people don't like to admit shit. So I said, if you were on a friend's account and you got in a fight with them, they could have called up AT&T, said the phone was lost or stolen. And when they do that, the phone won't make calls anymore. It won't make calls. It won't send texts. It's worthless. I mean, it's like there's no value to it. Then I shut up again. What am I doing here, guys? I'm creating drama and that it's a big problem. I also want to create some anxiety in him because just like you're nervous, you don't want to waste your time when you drive to prospects. They don't want to waste your time when they come to you. This guy now has driven 20 minutes, and because he drove and he's fairly invested, if I make a lowball offer, it's going to be lower than normal because he's already so invested in the interaction already. But I'm putting the strategy in place, and I want him to sit in the idea that this is an issue and that I might not potentially buy the phone. I didn't say I could buy it. I'm just pointing out the problems because I'm trying to create anxiety in him. Because when you create uncertainty and anxiety in people, they get emotional. This is kind of evil, but who cares? We're over here to get paid. They get all emotional, and they're a lot more susceptible to accept lower offers or to do things they normally wouldn't do. People use it in sales copy. We're going to do it just to try to get super duper lowball offers. So he calls up some guy, or he calls up, I don't know who he calls up. Calls up someone, the phone. It turns out the phone was on Clint's account, and Clint's account's in jail, and I can't even get a hold of Clint. And I said, okay, so you can't get a hold of him, so it sounds like it's going to stay like this. I'm trying to make the problem even bigger. I'm trying to create a lot of anxiety. So I didn't even say I can still buy it, because when I say I can still buy it, it almost gives him hope. I don't want to give him hope. I want to create as much pain and anxiety and nervousness and just make him want to get rid of the phone. Remember, he was for half a week dead set he wasn't going to go under 250, right? So this needs to happen in real time. It needs to be decently precise. So when I reappraised it in my head, I would have offered 180, sold it for 300. And he goes, I don't know what to do. He goes, would you at least take the phone for something? I mean, would you at least give me $100 for it? 7 Plus, 128, AT&T, very good physical condition, iCloud free, just bad IMEI. So I get all excited because I'm about to buy this bitch for $100. I'm about to sell it. I sold it for $335 yesterday on eBay. So I made $165, $180, $75. Well, we don't want to get too excited and jump on it right away. We want to stay calm, just like when we, just like everything else we teach with the script. We don't want to get too excited. We're going to stay calm, professional. I'm thinking about it. Silence is powerful. Sales professionals will use silence, and sometimes being silent is more powerful than words. Me being silent and not accepting it. What happens, guys, if I said, oh, yeah, 100's fine, no problem at all? There's a chance he might have said, well, how about 140? I don't want him to do that. So I need to create anxiety, and I need to make it seem like I'm thinking a little bit on the 100. Well, yeah, and I just made up some bullshit here, guys. I ain't going to lie. Well, I can't use the motherboard, and the screen's got a couple scratches on it. But I guess, there's the charging port in the back camera. Shit, I should have done 60 to be honest with you guys. I said, fuck. Yeah, you let it, I mean, that might work. You'd sell it to me for $100? He goes, yeah, man. Yeah, you can just take it for $100. I said, okay, that's fine. So we did the deal for $100. That is how I was able to get the price down. Now, note what happens if I did number 2. I want you guys to see the comparison. Number 2, imagine scenario number 2. It comes up blacklisted. Damn, it's blacklisted. And then I'm like, he's like, what's blacklisted mean? So this is a made-up scenario. What's blacklisted mean? Well, it means it's not activated. It can't be used to make calls or send texts. I can still buy it for you, but the highest I can go is 180. Scenario number 2 is all messed up. It's messed up because he didn't have time to process the fact that this was an issue and it was going to lower the value. He needs to have time to accept the fact he's about to get less money. So I need to explain it to him. I need there to be silence, and I need there to be pauses and sometimes 5 or 10 seconds of silence so he can process it's an issue. You guys understand that? If it's got a little crack on the screen and they say, oh, well, just a little crack, it doesn't affect the function of the phone. You're absolutely right. It doesn't affect the function of the phone. I got a car outside and the bumper's fallen off. If I were to take the car to the car dealership and I said, hey, car dealerships, I want $5,000 for my car. And they said, well, because the bumper's fallen off, we can only give you $3,500. And I'm like, well, it doesn't affect the function of the car. They'd be like, of course it doesn't affect the function. But in order for us to resell it, we got to put a new bumper on. We got to align the stuff. We got to do a paint job on it. They give me the whole spiel, right? Which is what they do, right? They probably over-exaggerate it. So it's worth a lot less. Just like they're going to give me less. I can't pay the price because the screen's cracked. This is a big issue. Screens are expensive to fix. They take a lot of time. You have to pay a technician. You have to hire the parts. I can't take the phone for $300. I mean, it's got a cracked screen. So you guys see what I'm doing there in that situation? I'm wording it in a way to where the prospect understands there's an issue, and I'm trying to sit in there a little bit in that uncomfortableness so they understand the issue, so they think about it and they process it in their head that it's going to be less, and then they're open to taking lower offers. So whenever you have this scenario, again, just follow the format that I did. Point out the issue and make sure they understand it. And if you can put them in some anxiety and pain, it's kind of evil, guys. But I'm just here to make you guys money, all right? As long as it's legal and ethical. If there's some manipulation, I don't care. I don't care, right? If you're being a little manipulative and you're getting them all anxious, let them. Let them sit in it. And if they do sit in it, they might come back with a lower offer, and you might be able to get the phone for substantially less because, everything's out the window, right? Everything's out the window. It's a different issue. And on top of that, since they're with you, they don't want to leave without a deal. Now, even if they only drove 5 minutes or 10 minutes to meet you halfway or close to them, they're there, they're invested in you, it is an issue, they're still going to rather want some money than no money whatsoever. So does this make sense, guys? This is like another part of, but does this kind of make sense? There's an art, there's a science, there's a process to going through this when the phone has a different issue, so you can effectively get a lot of people down in price. I got a wicked from Brenda. Oh, yes, from Ulysses. Yes, from Matt. Great stuff from Ulysses. Okay, fantastic. Dang, guys, Keisha's kind of evil. Keisha says, that's why I like to check the IMEI. I like to bring the pain and make extra, woo! I might start doing that, to be honest with you. I might start doing that because on Sprint and T-Mobile, I never check the IMEI. I just assume bad IMEI, and I sell it as bad IMEI. But that might be a good strategy to make extra money. To check that I'm buying the Sprint as bad IMEI anyway, but if I run some of them and they say it's bad IMEI, then I can make a big deal about that. That's a good idea. I'm going to try that out, guys. I ain't going to lie to you guys. If it works, I'll let you guys know. But that's not a bad idea. Is that what you do, Keisha? You'll check the IMEI? Because that's not a bad idea at all. That's not a bad idea at all. Ooh, I like that. Guys, you guys hear that? That's a good idea. Check the IMEI of every phone, and even if we're already going to buy it as bad IMEI, if they didn't say it was like bad IMEI and couldn't be activated, you could bring it up as a problem. I'm going to try that out. That might have just made me a few $100s extra a month, if not another 500 plus. Yeah, if you can make another 50, why not? Well, Ulysses says, could that hurt repeat customers? Now, that's a very good point. If the phone's exactly what they say it is, then that's why I always pay the amount. Like, I got a buddy, and he negotiates. He buys phones, and he'll, like, even if the phone's exactly what they say it is, he'll try to get them down in price. And I don't like to do that because I don't think that's good business. I want to be a reputable person, and I want them to have a good taste in their mouth when they leave the interaction. But if the phone is not in the condition they said it was, then there is room to renegotiate because it's now a different scenario. If they say, hey, the phone's bad IMEI, and you run the IMEI, it's bad, then it's already bad. You shouldn't do anything like that. But if they say, oh, there's no problems with it, you know, it's got a cracked screen, everything works though, you can move throughout it, there's no issues, and you meet up with them and it's Sprint bad IMEI and you run the IMEI, then you could fake it and make it seem like that because it's a bad IMEI, you're going to make less for it, even though we already praised it as bad IMEI. Bingo says, yep. That's a good question, though. And if you don't want to do it, yeah, and if you don't want to do Ulysses, there's no need to, but I'm going to try it out because it just seems like it's free money. That's a great idea. All right, the final thing we're going to talk about today, guys, is how to get the most amount of money for every item you sell while getting the item sold quickly. So who here wants to know? I got a strategy, guys, I've kind of figured out on how to get the most amount of profit for every item I buy and getting it to sell quickly. And I'd like to share it with you guys because it's pretty effective. I sell a lot of my items fairly fast. I get the most amount. Brenda says me. Keisha says I need it. Well, Keisha, if you need it, Aaron better freaking deliver. So there is this thing called the market. And the market, guys, is a beautiful thing that goes up and down. There's a thing in the market called supply and demand. So basically what it means is if I got 100, if there's 100 iPhone X's and no one wants any iPhone X's, then I'm going to have to sell the iPhone X's for a low amount. If there's a whole city of people that want the iPhone X and there's only 5 iPhone X's, the price of that iPhone X is going to go up. So if there's a lot of something, a lot of times the value will drop a little bit. If there's not a lot of something, that means there's a high demand and the value of the item will go up a little bit. So I use this every time I get an item. So whenever I get a phone, I come home, I always run the IMEI on SICW now. Because I've noticed usually a couple times a week, I'll find a phone that I thought they said it was AT&T or T-Mobile or Sprint or whatever, and I run the IMEI on SICW and it's unlocked. And it's worth paying that 10, 20 cents to find an unlocked phone once or twice a week. You can make another $50+ on. It's also worth spending a few seconds. So some people, what they do is they get like too obsessed with the phone. So there's a fine line behind this. Like some people will get a phone and they'll try to unlock it through AT&T's website, and it turns out there's $18 left on the bill, so they'll call AT&T and try to pay it and then try to unlock it just to get it unlocked to make another $50. And the screen's cracked, so they're going to get the screen repaired, and the charging port's a little stuck, so they're going to put a new charging port in it so they can say brand new charging port and try to get another $5. Stuff like that, it depends on you. It's not worth it for me, right? I like to just flip it and ship it. But I'm okay spending a few extra minutes, though, to try to look at a couple things to very quickly see if I can get extra money. Does that kind of make sense? I mean, I picked up an iPhone 7 yesterday that was Sprint. It was a 7 Plus that was Sprint. Turned out to be SIM unlocked. So because I ran the IMEI, I mean, I made another like $70 of profit off of it. It was worth it, all right? So I check. First thing I do is check SICW. Everyone here knows about SICW, right? SICW.com. And you can run the IMEI. You do like carrier. I do carrier settings. It's like carrier settings number 2. And it's like 20 cents. It'll tell you if the SIM's unlocked or locked to any company. Then this is what we do. So let me show you guys this phone yesterday. So yesterday, the one that I sold for $335, it was a 7 Plus. So here, let me just show it to you guys real quick. So I want you guys to follow this, all right? iPhone 7 Plus, 128 gigabyte AT&T bad ESN. So I did this, and I always look at the sold listings. So let's see what some of these recently had sold for. All right, so this one sold today for $310 because it's $300 plus the $10 for shipping, right? $310. This one probably has an issue. It's probably got a cracked screen or something. That one's definitely a bad screen. This one, $320. Oh, shit. All right, this one's $340. All right. Let's find one more. These have also couple minor scratch. There's a small ding. We don't like dings. Ours does not have a ding. I don't do dings. Here's another one for $320. So, guys, we got $320, $320, $340, $310. Someone give me the middle in the chat of what you guys think that is. If we were to average it out, give me the middle of what you guys think that might be. I got a $320, a $320, a $310, and a $340. Yep, $320 is what I'm saying. Taylor says $330. But there was that $310. I'm gonna say around like $320 to $330-ish. So to be honest, I'm gonna say right around what you guys said. Now before I list it, guys, I go and I uncheck this and I see what's coming up now. Now the reason for this is I'm gonna look at the market. If there's a lot of ones that are similar in price that are listed, I'm gonna list it for probably like $319 or $314 to try to come down in price a little bit to get it to sell quicker. If there's like not a lot or there's like none of them, I'm going to up the price by 10, 15, 20 bucks and squeeze a few more dollars. So I always go here. I go lowest price. So there's an issue with this, issue with this. Now let's see. All right. Mic and back camera need fixing. All right, so we're not going to use that. So the cheapest one here, guys, look at this, is $380. You guys see what I did here? These all have issues. So these are all out of our league, but the best one to compare to, the cheapest one is $380. So normally when I could sell it for $320, I'm actually going to tack on a few extra dollars because I know the demand for this is kind of high, and the next one to compare it to is fairly overpriced, right? So what I did is I sold it. I appraised it actually at $320. I sold it for $335. I put it at $335. It sold within 3 hours. So what you can do is when you can kind of look at the market like this, you can, not all the times, right? Sometimes you're going to list it and there's a bunch of other ones and it's kind of saturated, so you got to be pretty price competitive. But sometimes you can squeeze out another $10, $15, $20, $25, $30 on the phone depending on where the market is. You guys see that? If I listed at $335, I have one I'm going to sell. Beautiful, $350. Now, what I also like to do is I also understand that the guys that buy these that are bad IMEI, they have to make a profit on it as well. So what I would do is ended recently. So let's see, the highest we sold was, this was $340. So I would like, and this is just my theory, Matt. I could be completely wrong. But, like, I don't see any $350. So that might be a little bit too much for the market. They'll pay a little bit more if the demand is high and the supply is low. But I won't put too much. I might try it out, though. I might try out $350. I might try out, like, $342.47 or something like that. But definitely try it out. Either way, you'll be able to make more money because you guys see how the demand is there. I've just tested it out, though, with marking it up, like, significantly more, and sometimes they won't bite. But sometimes they will, though. Sometimes they will because they need it and they're looking for it. And it's the best deal, right? Even if you price shit. I would try it out, though. I mean, that's not a bad idea at all, Mike, because that's still 30 bucks less than this. But you try it out. Either way, you're going to make money because it's, the supply's here. Do you have any holds on how many clean phones you can sell within a week? I don't, Keisha. I got PayPal holds. I got about $9.5 grand tied up, but I don't have any holds on phones. So someone give me another phone. Let's do this a couple more times. I want you guys, someone tell me a phone they got maybe that they're selling, that they currently have listed, or that they picked up today they haven't listed yet. And another tip is what also makes this valuable is there's no other colors too, right? So like, if there was like a gold one and a pink one and mine was matte black, the matte black might not make a big difference, but mine's the only one that's 128. If I cleared this out and there was no 32, so let's see. If there was no, what the hell? If there was no 32 gigabytes and I look just by this, it'll probably going to be, well, hold on, let's see. Lowest price. So I'll show you what I'm doing right here. Okay, so look. These 32 ones are actually up a little bit. So yeah, so 350 might not be bad. Huh. So also look at it, because if you can find one like I sold. Okay, Chris has got AT&T Note 9. Clean or bad IMEI? Cool. So let's see. Now, before we do this, we're just going to see what we would have naturally appraised it as. Recent ended. Damn, Matt, yours is unlocked? Oh, you're going to make money. I sold my unlocked one yesterday for $400. How much did you pay for yours? Oh, my man Matt is going to the bank. Somebody clear the way. Did you just like check the IMEI on SIGW just now? How'd you find out it was unlocked? Oh, shit. Fantastic. Look at that. All right, Chris, let's see what you got. Chris, is yours like open box or phone only? Phone only. All right. This says please read, so we're going to see. Brand new. So we're going to say about 6:30. Yeah, about 6:30. Oh, shit. Look at that. Maybe 6:36. I'm trying to buy a phone only. Shit. Damn, maybe. All right, we're going to say 640. Chris appraised it at 600 to be safe, and that's exactly what I would have done. Whenever I appraise it, guys, I always go, I appraise it fairly, but I kind of take the lower amount. So that one I showed you before where it was like 310 to 320 or to 340, I appraised it at like, I would appraise it at like 315. So I always like to shoot on the low end just to be safe. So not too low, though. There's a fine line, right? If it's, I'm not, like Chris said, they're going for around 320 or 620 to 640. Chris appraised it at 6. Chris didn't appraise it at 550. That would have been like too low just to be safe. So now that we have that, now let's go ahead and see what we can list this at. So I would go by lowest price because people shop on eBay competitively. We're gonna go to buy now. All right, we're gonna assume, yep, cracked screen, no pen. I'm gonna assume, so no S Pen. So let me look at this. Let's see. Heavy wear, read full description. So we're gonna skip over that. Yours is mint, right, Chris? This is $590. Device overall, very good condition, minor use. I mean, money is owed. It cannot be unlocked. So, man, that's pretty good. Minor signs of use. So this guy priced it pretty competitively at $590. Damn. Oh, this is parts only. So, what's this dude? Is this bad IMEI? Oh, no, this guy just doesn't know what he's doing. He listed his parts only. He should have listed his use. This is clean IMEI. So we got $590. Now let's see what this is. Everything's 100% working except for, oh, this is bad ESN. We ain't going to do no bad ESNs. Oh, that said bad ESN. This has got a cracked back. Very nice. Let's see. So I don't want to spend too much time on it, guys, but I spend maybe 5 minutes per phone. Oh, that's bad ESN. What the hell? Oh, it said bad ESN. Chris, you're supposed to tell me this stuff. All right, bad ESN, bad ESN. I was just giving Chris trouble. That is my responsibility to look at parts only. Damn. Pre-owned, great condition. But that's open box. So that one was at $590, but because there was only one at $590, I'm not going to try to beat that out. I'll probably list it at, this is pre-owned. And this has got some watchers on it. So $650, I'm thinking like $629 is what I would list it at. So I'm going to be like 629 or 624 is probably what I would list it at. Chris said just listed at 6. Beautiful. That's fantastic. I mean, that's pretty much the same thing, 615. So I'm not going to try to beat that one guy's price because it's a little bit lower than the market. I'm going to let his sell, and then people will come to mine. But 615, what Chris lists, 615 and 625, basically the same thing. Very competitive in price. And we got to be a little bit competitive in price, but we're still the lowest one. So that's what I would have done there. Perfect. All right, let's look at that last one. Who's that last one? Taylor's got a 6S Plus, 64 gigabyte ATT bad ESN. So we're going to go to sold. 200. 180. No, that's got a crack. That's got a crack. 230. Wow. So we're going to say it's going to sell for, this was September, October. So we know the longer, the further away it is, right? The price can sometimes drop a little bit. So we're going to say about 200. So I'm going to say about 200. Now let's see if we can squeeze a few more dollar bills out of this. I mean, it doesn't, what do you mean turn into a rat race? Oh, like, will people lower their price? Sometimes they will, but a lot of times they won't because they have to make profit on it too. And if they've got to appraise it a certain thing, you know, if they appraised it incorrectly or paid a little bit too much, they won't. Also, the people that are buying these bad IMEIs, they're like doing stuff with it, and a lot of them will buy a lot if the price drops a lot. So some of them, they'll buy it like every now and then if the price is like decent as far as market value for the price for what they buy it for and their profit. But if the price of the phone drops like 30, 40, 50 bucks lower than normal, everyone will start buying them a lot really fast because they'll be able to flip it and make a lot more money on it than usual. And then the market will always naturally self-adjust itself, and it will start to go back up. People will be like, damn, people are buying these for 130 all day long in like 2 minutes. Let me raise the price to 140. Let me raise it to 150. All right, I'm going to raise it to 200. They're still buying at 200 every now and then. Let me raise it to 230. Oh, they're not buying it at 230. Got to bring it down to 200, right? So it'll always be like that. I mean, if that was the case, if it was always just a rat race to the bottom, then, I mean, people have been selling phones for over 10 years on eBay. Then all the phones would just be $1. That would never happen because the market will always adjust itself. The market always adjusts itself. I never do bids. My price is buy it now, that's it. I do not respond to any messages on anyone that has any BS or make lower offers. So let's go to buy it now. Uh-oh. So look at this right here. Great condition. Oh, this is an auction. And we like buy it now. So what are you guys thinking here? We saw it was going to sell for about 200. I'm thinking to list it at 209 to 215. Now let's look at all of them. I removed the gigabytes, and now I just want to see all of them because the demand for this might be up a little bit. All right, so this is 16 gigabytes. But if that's in good physical condition, oh, it's got deep scratches on the screen. Oh, look at this. Shit, I would list that. I would list it at $214.97, Taylor. That's what I would do. Looks like the market was about 200. I'd put another 15 bucks because there's not a lot. This one right here is only 16 gigabytes. The one before that had deep scratches. And deep scratches is going to affect the price a little bit. Excellent condition. So it's excellent, but it's only 16 gigabytes. And this one's what? Oh, yeah. I'm thinking 219. I would list that at 219.97, Taylor. That's exactly what I would do. Be making that extra money. So you guys see how this works? We don't. Now, guys, we don't want to get obsessed with this. We don't want to overthink this, right? We don't want to spend 20 minutes on a phone. But if you spend a few minutes on a phone, you run the IMEI, you look at these things. Not all the time, but it's worth it for me to spend, another 5 minutes and make another $15, $20. Not on every phone, but occasionally on different phones. And then, of course, it's worth it to run the IMEI on SIGW and find out that that sucker is unlocked. Damn, Taylor's going to the bank, guys. You better clear the way. So that's what I got for you guys. Let's see. Ulysses says, I'm really broke and I need the money badly. All right, Ulysses, well, you're a smart guy. What would you say to that? Give me the whole conversation, Ulysses, like write it out. Ulysses says, customer, I'm really broke and I need the money badly. Is this like an objection? Right. Taylor says, all right, when do you want to meet? You just move forward. It's like when it's a bad situation they're in. So that doesn't affect anything that we do. Our price is the price and the script is the script. I would need to know the whole context to give a more accurate thing. Taylor says take advantage. I mean, we're in business. We're in business. Guys, this is not a charity. We're in business to make ourselves money. We want to be fair. We want to be nice. But a lot of times when people are in shitty situations, they put themselves in that situation. 2 years ago, when I was about to file bankruptcy because I was so fucking broke and I had all this debt, I didn't just magically wake up with a lot of debt. I didn't just magically wake up with no money. I was spending money I didn't have. I was piling up credit card debt. I knew that I shouldn't have been at the store buying shit that I didn't have any money for. My fucking fault. Well, you're not coming across as a dick. What's the exact context, Ulysses? Are you trying to handle an objection? Are they saying that they need money badly as their way to justify getting more money? Oh, well, when you make the offer, you just follow the script. Them wanting more money, either because they want to go to the strip club, they want to buy a new car, or they're really fucking broke, is the same objection. It's the same objection of I just want more money. So we handle it with the script. Because it's the same, ain't no worries, I totally understand. You know, now you might adjust what hey, you know, I'm sorry you're in that bad situation. You know, I'm sorry you're in that bad situation, but because I buy and sell, I have to make a little profit. The highest I can do is 200. However, I can meet you today with cash. Same exact thing, right? We always follow the script. We just adjust it. If they wanted to go to the strip club and they need some extra money because the drinks at the strip club, totally understand. The strip club's an awesome place. However, because I buy and sell, I have to make a little money. The highest I can do is 200. But I can drive to you today and bring cash. Does that make sense? It's like someone was asking the other day that they wanted retail value for sealed phones. Well, that is just a normal money objection. They just want more money. Whether they want retail value, 90% of the value of the phone, or 35% of the value of the phone, the whole objection, the big picture is they just want more money. So we just handle it. It's almost like it's a sub thing in the money objection. So we slightly trick the words, but it's always the same process. Sales guys, there's processes for everything. If I want to lose weight, there's a process for that. There's if I want to get phones, there's a process for that. If I want to go on dates, there's a process for that. If I want to wake up early, there's a process for that. If I want to get people down in price, there's a process for that. It works over and over and over. We just follow the process. All right, guys, that's what I got for you guys. Was this helpful to you guys? Was this group chat beneficial? We did a little different stuff. Didn't talk about ads or text combo breakdowns, but we did some mindset stuff last time. We did the last couple weeks, we talked about how to get ads to stick and writing copy to get a crap ton of leads and some advanced negotiation breakdown stuff. So I like to mix it up for you guys. I want to give you guys kind of everything you need, right? We need the mindset stuff. We need the motivation stuff. We got to know how to be motivated. We also got to know the technical stuff. And, we got to know how to handle situations. Yes, thanks. Aaron says Matt. Very says Keisha. Strip Club says Chris. Thanks. I like the dark stuff, says Ulysses. Hey, I like it too. It's good stuff. I got a bunch of hearts and kisses from Remy. Appreciate that, Remy. I think. I'm not 100% sure. It was good. I liked it, says Taylor. Thank you. I always learn something new, says Yosef. Hey, I appreciate you saying something, Yosef. I always see you on these chats. LOL. Well, that's what I got for you guys. It was great hanging out with you guys. Again, I keep saying it, but I love all the support you guys show at Next Level. Whenever someone posts a result, you guys are always out there complimenting them and supporting each other. So I appreciate it. You know, someone will post something and Taylor's like, boom, awesome. And Keisha's like, boom, awesome. And George is like this. And Chris is like, just a beautiful thing. And Brenda, I love it, guys. It's great. So I appreciate you guys doing that and making the community one where we win, where we make a lot of money, and one where you can do the things you want to do. Guys, I made more money this week in profit than I did last year in October at my job. I made more money this week in profit flipping phones, not from Next Level Sales or anything like that. I made more money strictly from profit from flipping phones so far this week than I did last year at my job in October, working 40 hours a week, having a boss that was dumb, and dealing with entitled customers that I didn't want to talk to. This business works. You can make a lot of money with it, but it's up to you to take the actions. It's all about the actions and the decisions you make. When you get off this chat, you can say, oh, that's nice, and you can go watch Netflix, or you can get off this chat and do the reach out method and go pick up phones or put up ads or get more accounts or go through training or do the things you need to do so you can have the results that you want in this business. No one's going to do it for you guys. I ain't going to do it for you. David Kosciuszko's not going to do it for you. Keisha's not going to do it for you. Keisha's doing 20 grand a month. Oscar's doing 20 grand a month. And Keisha's like a nurse. She gets off work at midnight. Right? No excuses. Keisha's a nurse. She gets off work at midnight. She's also a real estate agent. She did $20,000 last month. I don't want to hear the excuses. This business works, but it's up to us to go out there and make it happen. Guys, the end of the year is coming up. It's going to be the end of the year. When you look back on the year, you're going to say, wow, I moved forward this year. I did something for myself. I'm in a better position than where I was in the previous year. Or are you going to look back and you're going to blame your life situation and you're going to have regret? I do not want you guys to have regret. You guys have all the tools out there to go out there and be successful in this business. Everyone on this chat right now, Brenda, Chris, George, Keisha. Keisha's already kicking ass. Kevin, Matt, Remy, Taylor, Ulysses, and anyone watching the replay, you guys all have the ability to make at least $10,000 to $20,000 a month in this business. Everyone here has the ability to make at least $1,000 a week in profit, if not more. I guarantee it because everyone has success. Guys, Chris Kripe doesn't have a car. He gets people to come to him. Sometimes he gets mad and he throws his phone, and he's had weeks where he's made $7,000 in sales in a week. Gets people to come to him. There's so many people from so many walks of life from all over different places that have had success in this business. You can too, as long as you take the actions. No one's going to save you. No one's going to do it for you. It's up to you, but you can do it. You have the ability to do it. Chris says there might be holes in his wall. Well, that's okay, Chris. You're making money. You just pay some money. You just go buy a new wall. Don't even get someone to fix the wall. Just go buy a new one. We just order it off eBay. Go out there and kick ass, guys. Take charge of your life. Take charge of your business. And go out there and make the money you deserve to make so you can live the life you deserve to live. I'm going to die, guys. We're all going to die someday. And when I lay on my deathbed, I don't want to look back on my life with regret. I want to look back on my life and say, man, I did the things that I wanted to do. I spent some time phone flipping. But I also, because I got good at the phone flipping, I had money and time to do the things that I want to do. I eat out every single day now. I go to the movies. I might buy another car. I might not. We'll see. I bought a Camaro 6 months ago it was less than that. That turned out maybe I shouldn't have bought it. But money and time to do the things we want to do. Let's go out there, guys, and make it happen. I'll see you guys in the Facebook group.